to IBC Victron training. Today we have Armand with us. We'll be heading on the Victron training. So yeah, if everybody can just give me a thumbs up, I just want to see if everybody can hear me, and then we can start with the training for today. Can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect. Seems like everybody can. So before we start on our Victron training today, I'd like to first present to you or do a showcase of IBC's portal. For those who do not have access to our portal and you are installers, please feel free to drop your email, and Zane will then be in contact with you guys to sign you up for our online web shop. So if you do not have access, please just pop in your email below on the chat, and Zane will then send you an email to fill in your form and put in your company details. So before we start, I will then let's have a look at our web shop. Can everybody see my screen? If I can get a thumbs up, that'll be great. So we can just start. Okay, perfect. Okay, so today we're presenting Victron training, and we do have a special going on at the moment for this month. This is in regards to if you buy our GoodWe inverters with modules, you will get an extra 5% discount on the GoodWe inverters only. So if you have more information on this, please feel free to contact your sales manager, and they will then explain to you furthermore on this. Just also you have to make sure when you make the order, just make it online. Just make an order online you don't have to contact your sales manager. Just make an order online, and when you process your order, just make sure that you put in your coupon GoodWe Save at checkout. Then your coupon will then automatically be applied onto your order. So let me show you. I'll be showing you about IBC online portal. So you see the arrow there. There's an icon written portal. That's where you go. And then you'll then see online shop, PV manager, sales support, downloads. So every information is available on an online website, where if you need to make a purchase order, if you want to book technical support, if you want PV manager, everything can be found online, which makes it faster to get assistance. So if you want to have a look at the price list information, if you want an Excel sheet that you want to integrate into your own website, you are able to get the information. You just have to go then to price list information, and you will be able to download an Excel sheet with pricing on the products that we sell. So that's where you'll find it. Now, if you want to make a purchase, an online purchase, you just go to online shop, and you will be able to see the different varieties of components that we sell, from inverters all the way to even services that we provide as IBC Solar. Now, our brands, as you can see, it's IBC Modules, Longi Modules, Jollywood, SMA, Victron, Fronius. So we do deal with with brands that have good standing in the market at the moment. So now you can search, and you can see their order type, my PV designs, shipping addresses, add to cart. So you can make a quick order. Everything is there. Your shopping cart, you will be able to see all the information when you do the orders. If you are looking for your documents, such as maybe a tax invoice or delivery note, whatever it is, you are able to find it on My Documents. You don't have to contact the sales manager or give in a call. Everything is available online for you if you need documents pertaining to IBC and your company. So there it is. You can see open orders, outstanding invoices, delivery of invoice overview. So everything is available on the online shop. So now, as you can see here, you will be able to see scale prices based on pieces that you purchase. So as you can see there, everything is automatically integrated. So if you make a purchase of one piece, the price will be 1927, for example. If you make 36 pieces, the price does go down. So everything is automated when you make the order. If you're looking for data sheet, you will find the data sheet below on the item that you want to purchase. Warranty cases, installation manual, you are able to find it so that can assist you on designing a solar system for your client. Our online shop also shows availability. So if you see it's green from week 30, week 37, you do see that, okay, we have a maximum, we have more than 1,000 pieces available. So you can go ahead and make an order, and knowing that the item is available and you will get it as soon as it is processed by your sales manager. And then here you can request a quote, which is something that we have. So you don't have to ask a sales manager to do a quote for you. You can request a quote. Everything you can do it online. And at the bottom there, that's where you enter your coupon. I'm not sure if you can all see that. That's where you enter your coupon. So just always make sure that you put in a coupon, because it will not be done by the sales manager and you will be missing out on a good deal. That's where it is. Coupon. That's where you enter your coupon. And now we look at IBC PV Manager. So IBPV Manager is it's a very good great tool. This tool assists you in designing a system from the size of the roof, mounting structure, inverter you want to use, cable losses. It does help you with that. How much yield, the estimated yield that you can get from your PV. So everything is inside PV Manager, and it's a very good tool to use. I think guys who use Helioscope PV System will enjoy PV Manager. It comes at a very good price in comparison to other softwares out there. And we do have technical services. IBC has its own in-house technical services, where we will assist you in going on site, to assist you in getting information that you need, sizing the system right for your household, so for your client's household. So we do offer that support. We do offer single line diagrams, fault finding on site, which does come at a price. But then we offer that to our installers because we think it's very important that our installers get the best support that they can get. And then now here, so all orders for your administration, you are able to find confirmed orders, open invoices, shipments, everything is online. So you don't have to worry about documentation or finding out if there's any documents that you're missing. You can find them online. So we do have financing options. So if you do not have the money to pay for the products at the moment, or your end client doesn't have the money, you are able to use our 30-day payment. But that has to be communicated with the sales manager. If you're in Joburg, you might speak to Jason or Leo. If you're in Cape Town, you might be speaking to Rita and David. So you just have to make sure that you contact your sales manager, and then he will assist you with a 30-day payment term account. The other option is LulaPay. So LulaPay it helps you to, let's go back. So LulaPay will help you to pay, but you will then have an agreement with LulaPay, and then you'll be paying back LulaPay over a certain period of time. And without any hidden fees, everything is out in the open. So you can try LulaPay or have our 30-day payment term. And that's it. And then now we will be giving it to Armand to start the training. So I hope everybody is ready for the training and eager to learn more. Armand, thank you for joining us today, and we're happy to have you here and hoping to learn a lot from you.
Thanks, Alton. I hope you do learn. It will be good. Yeah, so it's again free on training. There's no agenda whatsoever. I'm focusing on more product schedules. I want to focus on the automotive marine side of things, especially most of the people focus on residential, commercial, industrial side. where it's the higher components, but just want to introduce the Victron website and introduce the Victron professional website. So most of you guys know what products we do stock and the products that you can buy from IBC. So I think I'll start with the basic setup on the system or on the website itself. So I'm going to start with Victron Energy. Just share my screen. Just confirm if you can see my screen. Alton, can you see my screen? Everybody
Yes.
can see my
Yes,
everybody can see my screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is the normal Victron Energy website. You just Google Victron Energy. It will give you all the information on the Victron product itself. You can run through most all of the details, where to buy, information, support, blog, contact, login. But the main thing is products. If you go through all the products that we do stock, this is everything that we do stock, what you can buy from IBC. So with automotive transformers, you can buy, but this is not a huge unit that most of the people do purchase. But chargers, if you go through the chargers, you'll see all the charger spec. If you click on a charger, it will give you all the data sheets, the spec sheets, the manuals, etc., etc. So this is the Phoenix Smart IP43 charger. It goes from 12 to 24. Then you get the high Skylar IP65 charger. This is quite ideal for marine use. Most of the people use this for marine use and golf clubs. Skylar IP65, 12 volt, 70 amp, especially with all the golf carts that's moving to lithium ion. They need a higher amperage to charge on. So they prefer the Skylar IP65. It's also Bluetooth interface, so you can connect via Victron Connect, and you can get the scheduled charging side. Then you get the Phoenix charger, 12 to 24. You'll also common in the golf clubs areas. Skylar the Skylar TG charger, Skylar TG GMDSS, Century charger, Blue Smart IP22. This is quite ideal for automotive use. If they want to charge a secondary battery or a primary battery, a lot of dealers or car dealerships does have this unit installed for the battery, just to keep on float stage to get the car cranking amps to start the vehicle. And then you've got the Blue Smart IP65. This is ideal for outdoor. If you've got clients that does enjoy the camping areas and go to the Kruger or wherever, Mozambique, and they want the charger, waterproof IP67 charger, it's ideal for the application. Then you get the Smart Blue Solar IP65 charger. It's 6 to 12 volt, 1.1 amp. It's just a trickle charger for generator application as well. And then we've got the automotive IP64 charger. So this is the charger ranges on the small application. The larger applications are Skylar IP65. So then inverters, this is ideal. The inverters for automotive use and marine use, you necessarily don't need an AC to DC charger board. You only just need to have a DC to AC rectifier, which is your inverter. So most of the people just purchase a 12 to 24 or a 12 or a 24 volt converter or inverter that rectify the switches the DC to the AC power. So it ranges from different VA ranges. So you get it goes from 250 to 1200 VA. This is the normal Phoenix charger. You'll see the first value is the voltage of the system. Second value is the VA rating of the system. And then here's all your certificates and all the information that you do need on the website itself. So on the units, it goes from 12 to 24, as I mentioned, 12 volt, 3000, 5000. It stops on 5000 VA. So it doesn't go higher on the VA rating. It stops from on 12 volt and 24. It stops 3000 to 5000. It stops there. Then Phoenix Inverter Smart 1600 VA to 5000 VA, 12, 24, 48. Then this is the new module that well, it's not new. It's a year old. It's a Sun Inverter 12 250. It's got a PWM built in the unit itself. So on the PWM, you don't need to buy additional MPPT. The application is also for camping purposes. If you just want to charge a cell phone or a laptop or have AC power, it's not going to work if your missus wants to plug in the hairdryer. So then I'd advise that you go to a 3000 VA. But this application is ideal, especially for low-cost housing as well, where they have just one power for backup purposes. You can have a 150 or two 150s connected in series and goes to the PWM and charges the battery, and then you'll have power when there's load shedding. So it's a quite ideal unit and quite cost effective. Then we've got the Phoenix inverters, V direct 250 to 1000 VA, 1200 VA. It's also good Victron Connect. You can program it through Victron Connect and monitor it through Victron Connect. No need for a Cerebro or a Chrono. So everything can go through Victron Connect. Then the inverter RS Smart unit. This is the new unit that's quite popular, and it's gonna flood the market. As I mentioned in the previous training, it's a high frequency unit. So it's an inverter with a built-in MPPT. It's got four. This is without the MPPT. The inverter RS Solo. It's got the built-in MPPT. This 48 volt to 6000 VA. So it's just inverter, DC input, AC output. The inverter or Smart RS. It's the one with the 450/80 MPPT built-in. Also quite ideal unit. Then inverter chargers, I think I covered that on the previous training. Elton, do you want me to go into detail there?
No, it's up to you.
I'll quickly browse through it. The multi, if you've got clients that has camping purposes or wants a smaller inverter just for backup scenarios in a car, whether it be in a car or a caravan, but it's a quite popular unit. It goes from 500 VA to 1600 VA. It's a small compact unit. I see a lot of people build this in a small trolley unit. So they buy a 1200 amp hour lithium battery and install this on the top of the trolley and do have a sub dB on the side. So most of the guys goes to builders and they buy all this cheap Chinese stuff that doesn't last very long. It lasts 6 months and they go back and want a warranty claim. Ideally, it's to build your own unit. Take this, put it on a trolley. 1600 VA can take you quite far. You can plug in a TV and a couple of plugs for lights or lamps. So old age homes are quite unique for this. So they have a built-in 100 amp hour battery with this. And if the people, most of the elderly people don't want to see the values, they just want to have power. So if you wanted the TV to run with a couple of lamps and just to get along during load shedding, it's an ideal unit. So it's got a 70 amp charger board in. So it's 12 volt, 1600 VA. You'll get about 1200 watts that you can pull out of it, and then 70 amp charger board. So it's ideal for that application. It ranges from different voltages, 12, 24. So it's a quite good unit. Multiplus, it's a normal old Multiplus. There's no anti-islanding device built into this Multiplus. It ranges from 800 VA to 5000 VA, and it varies from 12, 24, and 48. Multiplus 2000 VA, exactly the same. Multiplus 2, I'm going to skip the 120 volt. That's for States application. We only use the 230. Multiplus 2 is 3000, 5000, 8000, 10,000, 15,000. This is the unit that is NRS standard. It has an anti-islanding board built in. The NRS application or NRS certificate for the 8 and the 10 and the 15 will be submitted, I believe, within this week. So then the guys in Cape Town, COCT won't be a problem anymore. So you don't need to install the Zeal. So it ranges also from 12, 24, 48. The 12 volt stops with 5000 VA, 24 stops with 8, and then the 48 goes to 15. So with this, you've got your AC input, only one AC input and two ACE outputs. So AC output 1, it's normal for normal load, which is dedicated load, and your AC output 2, it's normally for non-dedicated load, and that will most of the people install AC output on non-dedicated load, but if you're in a scenario where you run ESS and you want the power to still distribute when the battery is higher than an 80% SOC, you can select settings on assistance, general flag, etc., and then it closes the contact and you'll have power on the AC output too. But that's more for advanced type of programming. Then we'll go to the multi plus 2GX, the multi plus 2GX. It has everything built in, MPPT, and well, doesn't have the MPPT. The Easy Solar has the MPPT. The multi plus 2GX has the VNS connected to it. So you'll see on the bottom side, there's the V bus communication, V direct, and Ethernet port that you can connect to it. So you don't need to buy the additional Sobro or color control. It's got everything built in. Your relays, everything's also built in. Quite compact unit. It's also a very, very good unit in the market. 3 kVA is quite small. You get the multi-plus 2GX in 5 kVA as well. But I think the multi-RS solar will take over that industry. The multi-RS solar has got the 450, 100 MPPT built in. It's got dual trackers, so you can populate east-west orientation, and it's got a DC switch built in at the bottom there. So the only thing is you need to have additional Sobro connected for monitoring purposes. Otherwise, you'll only end up using the LCD display to get the values. But it's a very, very good unit. We tested this unit quite a lot in the couple of past 4 weeks, and it's very, very robust. Then I don't know why it's lagging. There we go. Then we've got the Easy Solar 2, Easy Solar 2GX, Easy Solar 2GX. As I mentioned the previous slide, it's got everything built in. It's got the Venus built in. It's got the MPPT built in. So it's a one plug and play unit. It's just the AC reticulation that you require. So your MPPT is built in. Your Venus is built in. There's your V bus ports. There's all your plugging devices, your DC side, there's your DC switch or your normal switch of the inverter, and there's all the plugs in of the inverter itself. So everything is built in. It's a plug and play unit. Nothing to it. Then yeah, the inverters ranges from Quattros 3,000 to 15,000 VA, and then Quattro 2s 24 to 48 5,000s, and then the Quattro I'm not going to use it on 120 Easy Solar and Easy Plus. This is also plug and play unit. So the Easy Plus, it's got built-in. It's very, very ideal for camping purposes, as I mentioned. It's very ideal for if you build this into a caravan. You don't need any additional AC reticulation. It's already built in. So it's got an earth leakage, it's got the input breaker, and then it's got the output breakers. So the Easy Plus Compact, it's got the charger board in and MPPT. It's built in at the back. So it's very ideal and compact and tall in size. So it fits in at the bottom on the wheel arch. At the top of the wheel arch, there's a cavity that they mostly install the battery and the inverter side of things. So it's ideal for camping and automotive products. Then isolation transformer, I'm not going to go into. The NS charger. Just quickly raise hands who has installed NS chargers. No one as far. Alton, has one of your customers installed the NS chargers before?
Not that I know of. Yeah, but I know there's a few actually bought EV chargers, but not sure.
All right, so I think it's gonna the multi RS. I see there's a question there. Multi RS is NRS compliant, yeah. Yeah, one multi RS is compliant on NRS. Yes, certificate will be there, and it's 3-phase and 3-phase compatible and parallelable. So you can install 10 RS units if you'd like. So the EV charger is quite ideal. This is the new NS range EV charger. The big difference between the two units. The NS is just more affordable. It doesn't have the LCD display built in, but you can see all the values in any way on your servo. So if you want just the NS charger, it can. I get the question quite a lot. Can they use the NS charger on its own without the Victron system? Yes, you can. It's quite easy. You can run it through an IP, a fixed IP address, and you can log onto the IP to see the charging and the values and the curves, and yeah, get the data and extract the data from there. But it's quite easy to program. It's quite easy to use, and it's a third or a fourth the cost of what a normal EV charger. Where if you go buy a Volvo or you buy a BM, it's a fourth of the cost or a third of the cost what those chargers cost. So it's much more cheap or much more cost effective, and yeah, it's ideal for the EV market. On three-phase application, you can charge the vehicle onto 2020 or 22 kilowatts. On single phase, you can charge it to 7.3 kilowatts. The cable, most common question, do you get the cable? Can you get the cable? Or do you get the cable with? No, you don't. You can buy it separately. But alternatively, if you buy the vehicle, you get the cable in anyway. So use the same cable. They're all adaptable, and you can just plug it in there. And the other thing is they come in 3 different colors. Either blue. Most of the people like the blue. Some people with the aesthetics, they don't like the blue, so they go for the white or the black. But it comes on in 3 colors. All right, then I want to show you the other EV charger. Oh, and the LED light, you can decide, you can select on the programming what color it should be. So if you want to run different type of color, and you want it to be blue if it's fully charged, you can select it to be blue when it's fully charged. It gives you all the charging ranges, and you can select it. This EV charger, normal EV charging station, it's got an LCD display built in, so you can actually see what the amperage is and change the current on the total EV charger, and it will tell you is it charging or is it not charging. But the LED will also display if it's charging, and it gives you the SOC value of the vehicle's battery. Right. Then batteries, not going to go into. I think there's a lot of third-party batteries like Solar MD. I know IBC like Solar MD as well. I also personally like Solar MD, very, very good battery isolation and combiners. This is ideal for automotive. So you get the Argo diode battery isolator, then you get the Argo FET also isolated diode battery combiners, Cyrix CT charger combiner kit, and Cyrix battery combiners and battery switch. The battery switch is not, it's also very cost effective, the battery switch, but you can put in inline fuses as well. Problem with the battery switch, if it pops or something goes wrong with it, you need to replace it with the same thing. With a fuse, you can just take it out and put up another fuse, but it all depends on what you want to do and the aesthetics of it. And I'll quickly go into the Cyrix charger. This is very, very popular in the automotive market. You get not a Cyrix. There's a different charger, different chargers that you can get, and the competition of this chargers is way more expensive than a Cyrix. So a Cyrix, I want to just show you how the wiring on the Cyrix. So basically what it does, it charges your alternator of a vehicle, charges the primary battery first for the first scenario. Once the battery reaches 13.7 volts, it closes the contact. After a certain say 2 minutes, it will close the contact if that 13.7 volt float voltage reaches the value. It will close the contact. Then it will close the contact to charge the secondary battery. So the big thing is the Cyrix prevents your primary battery to discharge. So you won't be ending up in the Kruger or in Botswana or wherever, and your car won't start. So it protects your primary battery. So it connects. If you see the alternator, And this is your starter battery, which is your primary battery, connects to the Cyrex. On the Cyrex, it goes straight down to the battery positive, goes back to your fuse, which is either your battery isolator or a fuse, inline fuse. You can use a mega fuse as well. And then from there, it goes to your secondary battery. Then it protects the battery and it will charge your battery on the amperage range of the Cyrex. So it's a very, very good unit. It's an ideal unit to use, especially for automotive side. Your communication control cables, you can have it communicating to either the Venus or the Cyrex, depending on where you want it to communicate to. So on this unit, you'll see there's different 120, 230 amperage range, and then get the Cyrex I 400 amp range between 12, 24, 24, and 48. This unit, ideally, they use this quite a lot for as I mentioned, automotive side, marine side, but I see it lots with the abattoirs that's transporting meat, and they're traveling high distances. So then they put the Cyrex in to charge the secondary battery, and once the vehicle stops, the air conditioning or the HVAC system on the vehicle itself can still run, and it doesn't get affected at all. It doesn't switch off. So the on off can quite damage your HVAC system. Then battery protectors, you get different battery protectors. That's if you don't have a normal lithium battery. If you have the 2-volt cells or the 12-volt batteries, there's no battery protector inside. So you need to actually install a third-party BMS to actually protect the internal resistance. If the internal resistance of a AGM or gel is low, it means your battery's most probably stuffed, and you need to buy new batteries. DC to DC converters, this is also automotive ranges. You can use it for any application, but it's high in automotive. DC to DC 12 to 24, 20 amp, it goes to 48 as well. Orion TR 24 12, then Orion TR Smart, Orion TR Smart 30. Non-isolated. If you want to have installed, it's exactly like the Cyrex. If you want to install a DC to DC converter, you can install the Orion TR isolated DC to DC charger, and that will charge your secondary battery as well. Then you have the Orion DC to DC converter, non-isolated high power Orion DC to DC converter as well. IP65 Orion, if you want to install it at the bottom of your cruiser, it does exactly the same. Buck boost DC to DC converter. This is for high application, 25, 50, and 100 amp range. Right. So, and then inverter chargers, MPPT. This is just normal inverter. As I mentioned, we did go through this. Solar charge controllers. Most for automotive and marine use, they normally use a 1512, 150. They don't go higher than 150. Depending if you buy a Vico truck and you have multiple modules, you can go on high, and you just need to ensure that the design is according to the products are according to the application. So most common smart solar MPPT 75 to 120 and the 130 by 150. Then if you have a smaller application, PWMs, this is more, it's also automotive, but hardly. The difference between MPPT in PWM, MPPT is a maximum power point tracker, where PWM is a pulse width modulator. MPPT has exactly what the wording says. It gives you the full charging range, where a PWM is a pulse width modulator, which is a square wave unit. So you won't get the full benefit of your PV on a PWM. And this also phased out due to the cost and the high production range of these units. The cost implication is not that high. So I'll suggest rather just buy an MPPT. The previous training, I said there is a MPPT sizing calculator. So if you want to do the sizing of the MPPT side, you can go download the MPPT sizing calculator. And there's an Excel sheet, and you can actually go play with it and select your panels. If the panels aren't there, you can actually just insert the VOC and the short circuit current of the module. then you refresh it, and then you can actually use that the MPPT sizing calculator to your benefit. And then, yeah, solar panels not going to go into. Then you get accessories, and here's all the small accessories that you require, all the cables. If you have chargers and you have a lug point, you can have, if you have a clamp connector, you can use the clamp connector. They use this a lot for, as I mentioned, the golf carts at the golf clubs. They plug it in with the clamps connected up, and there's multiple communication cables. If you have a V-direct, or a Venus, or Phoenix inverter, you can plug the V-direct non-inverter remote on-off cable. You can plug it onto the inverters for communication purposes. Then the big thing of the automotive side, I want to just get to it. It's the links boxes and the shunts. So it's ideal to have a normal bus bar, but most of the guys that makes the installation look much more unique and bespoke if you use one of the links boxes. If you have, most of the people use the 1200 amp hour or the 200 amp hour lithium batteries. I see it's common when they use the Freedom 1 ones. You can install external Link Smart BMS to monitor both batteries. So if you don't require it, it's not necessary, but it's quite ideal to see it on the app. And if a guy, they want Hoedspruit area, they quite invest in automotive side. So it's not frowned upon if they install a system where it costs anything between 100 and 250,000 for automotive vehicle to be fully equipped with this application. So especially if they have remote labs where they install all these units in a cruiser side, that's quite ideal. Then yeah, transfer switches and all those details is not necessary. But I think this is all the information that you do need. Then I'm going to quickly move on to the Victron Professional. On the Victron Professional overview, you get the videos. Here's all the videos if you want to go get more information on the Smart BMS, how it works, how it operates. Especially with the links boxes, all the information is here. So if you want to string link boxes, it's also there, and it's all the different languages. So Afrikaans, English, well, it's not Afrikaans, but English, Netherlands, French, Dutch. If depends on what language you want to listen to. But all the information is here. Here's the EV charger schedule adding, and you can EV charger setup. So here's the battery charger, IP65, how to connect it. So all the information to your advantage. So go to the Victron Professional. Everything is free on the portal, so you can log on, and everything will be here's blogs, events, online training, Dropbox for all the firmwares, repair docs. So that's just for distributors. And then developers, if you like coding, I play with APIs quite a lot. So VRM API, Victron website API, it's quite ideal. If you like Node-RED and have multiple relay switching, it will be to your benefit. Big thing, online training. If you want to go do some tests, you get a certificate, everything. As I mentioned previously, if you do the test, we don't see if you fail or not. So just repeat the test again until you pass, and then you can advance to the second and the third training event. So everything will be three-phase connection, vehicle connections, alternate charging connections. Everything is on the Victron Professional blog. So yeah, it's quite ideal. And overview, it will give you all the information that you need. Right. Any questions so far? Nothing. Okay, I'm going to start with the training or the slideshow quickly. Can you see my screen? Happy. All right, Victron IBC, it's exactly the same that I mentioned. Training topics, Victron Energy Automotive Products, Phoenix Inverters, IP65, IP67 chargers, small MPPT chargers, Orion TR Smart and Cyrex battery combiners, BMW Smart Shunt and battery balancers, Cerbro GX and Ekrano. The Ekrano is a new unit. I'm still well, not the new unit. I'll show you afterwards. And then after that, the PowerPoint, I'll quickly go through it. Automotive products, Phoenix inverters, battery inverters for automotive. It's 250, 200, 1200 VA. It's only the 12-volt ranges. It can go up to, if you want to have the Phoenix inverters, to 3000 and 5000. Then you just go to a normal inverter. So you can up the VA rating. It's fully configurable, V-direct communication ports, IP21 protection. So IP21 protection, you can't install it outside the unit and expect it to work after it rains. Just ensure it's built inside. Then you've got the V-direct to Bluetooth smart dongle, Bluetooth connectivity for non-smart products, Blue Solar, MPPT, and Phoenix inverters, V-direct and BMV, and smart networking instant readouts. So you'll see if it's not the smart V-direct Bluetooth smart dongle, if it's not the smart unit that you get, you need to add on the V-direct or V dongle to connect it to the V-direct in order to get communication. If it's not the smart, but if it's a smart, there's a Bluetooth chip built in, so you can actually just connect it to the Victron Connect, and you'll see all the values, and you can actually amend the settings depending on what battery you use. If it's lithium, is it gel, is it AGM, depending on the application. IP65 and IP67 smart chargers. It goes from 6 volts to 12 on a 1.1 amp. So 1.1 amp, it indicates that it's a just normal trickle charge. It's ideal for generators, as mentioned, just to ensure that the generator batteries, I think it's quite common if you do installation and there's a generator that doesn't start. Mostly it's the cold cranking amps of the battery that doesn't get the alternator to start winding up. So it's ideal to just install a 12-volt automotive IP65 charger. You leave it in the box and it's connected to the battery, leave it plugged in. It just trickle charges the battery. It ranges from 24 volts, 5 amp, 8 amp. You can select the amperage range. It's selectable. So if you want to charge the battery with 5 amp, you can select 5 amp. If you want to charge it to 8 amp, select 8 amp, and etc. etc. Bluetooth built-in expected automotive IP65. So the Blue smart charger, it's got a Bluetooth chip built in, so you can select, go onto Victron Connect, select it, update firmware, and amend the settings as you want. It can be used as a power supply as well. Quick battery connectors and accessory for IP65. So this IP65 comes with the wall mount plug, as you can see there. Bolted or put Fisher plugs in, connected to the wall, and yeah, you can have it doesn't get feed. This chargers quite get feed a lot. If you go to Moby Lodge or Safari Outdoor, they've got multiple chargers on the walls, and then all of a sudden it's not there. But not on the, if they install it on the wall, you'll quickly see the chargers got feed. But if you just leave it on the table, disappears quite quickly. Rubber bumper, it's also ideal if you install it into the vehicle. You can put the charger there, and then yeah, carry case for Blue Smart. It's a very, very unique carry case. 200 or 400 odd bucks for the carry case, depending what carry case you purchase. But yeah, then you can install it in the carry case, and then you get the MAC code power clip, and you get the battery indicator panel. There's multiple accessories that you can purchase. Then smart solar charge controllers, MPPT 7510, 7515, 115, 120, 48 or 1248 or 1224, 48 ranges. This MPPT 7510 only goes maximum PV voltage 75. Operational voltage starts from 30. So maximum battery charger current 10 amp, suitable battery voltage 12 or 24. MPPT 7515, maximum PV voltage 75, maximum battery charge current 15, and suitable battery voltage 1224. Exactly the same. MPPT 115, It goes from 100 volt, 15 amp, 20 and 24, MPPT 100 to 20, 100 volts, 20 amp, 24, 30, 12, 24, 36, and 48. We never use 36 at all. There is, depending on what application, there is some clients that use 36. I don't know if you can recall the old golf carts using the Trojan T1105 batteries, where they string it in a 36 volt array, and they actually require a charging application for a 36 amp. Then you get the smart MPPT solar charge range. The MPPT solar charge range, blue solar 75, 100, 150. It goes from 10, 15 amp, 15, 20, 30, and then 50, and 150, 35, 40, 60, 70. That's just the blue solar. So for, as I mentioned, it doesn't have the V direct cable built in. So you need to have a smart dongle in order for it to change settings. Otherwise, you need to plug it into a Venus or Cerbo, and that communicates through there. Smart solar got the Bluetooth chip built in, goes from 75, 10, 10, 15, 100, 20, 30, 50. The 150 MPPT VOC, the charging current 35, 45, 60, 70, 85, and 100. So the VOC, you can't exceed 150 volt VOC. In retrospect, if you have a panel and the panel's VOC voltage is 49, you can't string 4 modules because you'll exceed the VOC voltage and will end up popping the MPPT. But you can install 3 units and then parallel them according to the amperage size. Just use that MPPT calculator. It will indicate quite good. Yeah, but the operational voltage on the 150, it is still 60 volt VOC. So it doesn't help you install 1 module on 150. It won't work. You will never get PV yield. Just want to see it run. Am I unable to access the develop section of the Ron, I'll answer your question now. After the training, I'll let Alton send you an email, then you can get access to the developer section. Smart V CAN, it's the CAN interface MPPTs. So no V direct. You can install V direct as well, but it's ideal to just daisy chain the RS485 cable and just put terminators in it, exactly the same as Smart Solar RS units. Then Orion TR Smart non-isolated and isolated, Bluetooth Smart Enable, suitable for use in vehicle with a smart alternator, adaptive 3-stage charger, algorithm, bulk absorption float. There's no equalize on the isolated chargers. Equalize is actually it's for 2-volt cell batteries, where all the sulfate goes to the bottom and it needs a high charge and charging amp and the voltage to get the chemical reaction to react. And then, yeah, it goes to 220 to 400 volts isolated range, 360 to 400 watts non-isolated range, can be parallelable, and it's IP43 protective. You'll see, as I mentioned, here's all your connections on your Orion, exactly as the same as the Cyrix. So you get the alternator. It runs on from the alternator. There's a fuse in on your primary or on secondary battery, goes through, and it goes through the load. Exactly the same, but this won't protect your alternator's primary battery. This is actually your secondary battery. Right. So if you don't have a primary battery and you want to leak your primary battery, you can do that. Alternatively, install the Cyrix. Here's the Cyrix intelligent battery monitor to prevent unwanted switching, 12 to 24 auto ranging. Prioritizing the starter battery, protection against overheating, non-voltage loss, IP54 protective. So yeah, it's very, very easy to install this unit. So Cyrix CT connected to from your alternator, connect the Cyrix CT, goes to the fuse and have a secondary battery connected. Very, very good unit, and it's very cost effective. Then you get the battery fuel gauge time to go indicator and much more. This is the BMW battery monitors, battery fuel gauge time to go indicator and much more. 500 amp shunt included, 1000 amp, 2000, 6000 shunt optional available. midpoint voltage or temperature monitoring, a 702 and a 712 series only. So midpoint voltage on temperature monitoring is the 702 and the 712. The difference between them, both of them, the 702 doesn't have a Bluetooth chip built in. The 712 has a Bluetooth chip built in. But the 702 can indicate and communicate two different battery banks. So hence the reason 702. Flush mount display and V direct communication. So with all this information, you can connect to the Bluetooth Victron Connect, and you can actually have values of the BMV of the battery side and the charging and the discharging of the battery itself. Then smart shunt IP65. It comes in a 500 amp, 1000 amp, and 2000 amp measurable measures voltage of secondary battery temperature or midpoint voltage of battery bank. 6.5 to 70 volt VDC operation voltage. So you can't have a high frequency battery built in. It can only operate to 70 volt VDC. IP22 or 21 rating and IP65 protection, V direct communication. So a very, very good unit. If you don't want the BMV, you can have the smart shunt. Does exactly the same. It reads all the currents of the negative side where all the electrons flow, and it'll give you a very, very good indication of what the cycles are and what the SOC values of the batteries are. Battery balancers, lead-acid intelligent battery balancers for 24-volt systems, prolongs battery life. 3 units can be used for 48-volt systems. Alarm relay, and it's IP22 protective. So the problem, unbalanced batteries connected in series. You'll see if it's connected in series, you can have alarm connected to it. The solution, battery balancing, will create a balanced charging current on each batteries. Turn on level 27 to 3 volts and 54.6 volts. It will start indicating and balance the batteries. Midpoint deviation to turn on, it's 50 millivolt. Has anybody installed battery balancers before? Doesn't look like it. All right, then normal, as I mentioned, Cerbo GX Touch 50, you get the Cerbo. For camping applications, you can use a Cerbo SGX due to the fact that there's only one can, which well, there won't be any can because you'll use your shunt to dedicate the SOC values and the charging values in the cycle of the battery. So you can actually use a Cerbo SGX device. So you don't need the V CAN port, and you don't need the tank and temperature digital inputs. So, but if you want to use a tank and the temperature and the digital inputs on an automotive side, just rather get the Cerbo. It's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth access via Victron Connect app. So you don't need to go to Victron Connect. You just go to VRM. Thin rail mountable via optional accessories. It's got a powerful dual CPU that enables more connectivity. With or without display, GX Touch 50 and 70, and it's waterproof. It's also got a Polaroid lens visible. So this device here, it's your Cerbo, and your touch screen. So your touch screen connects via a HDMI cable, and then you've got the USB for the power host that connects to it. So it indicates directly, and then you can get all the values, whether it's MPPT value, whether it's your shunt value, whether it's your lithium battery. Doesn't help if you've got 200 or 100 amp 12-volt batteries connected to it. You're going to need to have a BMV on your main DC cable. But if you have a normal 12-volt lithium battery with one BMS, you can connect it to the BMS CAN, and yeah, you'll get a good communication on that. So that's the Cerbo. And the Cerbo GX, this is exactly what all the information you can get and how it's installed. You can connect your inverters, your MPPTs, your Orion connectors, your tank 4 resistive tank level inputs. You've got your 4 temperature level inputs. If there's a generator AC, depending on what you've got, you can install it. There's a digital multi-control GX, so quite ideal for automotive as well. And then, yeah, your normal inverter connecting to V direct. If you've got a Phoenix, if you've got a normal VE bus unit, you can connect it to the VE bus side. Okay, features on the Cerebro: system display, internet connectivity and monitoring via LAN or Wi-Fi, data logging via SD card or USB stick. If you don't have internet connectivity, you can connect that. Remote control, GPS positioning with USB GPS dongle, remote vconfig, remote firmware updates, system battery state of charge, maximum current and voltage change, and much more. JD, yes, you can ask Alton or Zane. They'll be able to provide you with the PowerPoint presentation and provide you with all the information. GX accessories, mounting enclosures. This is all the mounting Wi-Fi dongles that you can connect, the tanks, the GSM modules, V-Direct connections. V-Direct is point-of-point protocol. Maximum distance is 10 meters. Use a V-Direct USB interface if more V-Direct connections are needed. If more connections are needed, use a powerful USB. Maximum V-Direct device: Cerebro 3, CCG X5, Venus 6, Octa 10, Maxi 25. All right, Venus OS, it's the Venus, the Octa, and the Cerebro GX. This is a system display. I did mention it in the previous training. There's multiple stuff that you can monitor on the Cerebro itself. So I'm not going to go into that, but you can see the DC power. You can see the charging of the DC power through the BMV. You can see the siren. You can see everything on the unit. That whatever you want to see on the protocol, which is Victron components, you can monitor on the server. All right, so on the engine alternator starter, there's also indication with the buck boost. If you've got a higher charging requirement, you can have the buck boost. There's your links connected to it. All the information you can have. There's a grid if you have a camper and you connect the multi-compact, which has got an AC port built in. Isolation transformer is basically for protection device and everything as well. All the displays are available. I'll share this to Zana as well, and you can provide, or you can have the information. There's MPPTs building if you're in the bush, and there's only charging available is PV and alternator. You'll have multiple MPPTs on the system itself, and the PV charging the battery and taking over the load once the SoC levels 100%. Communication protocols: V-Bus, V-Direct, V-CAN, BMS CAN. V-Direct will be your main point of communication if you have an automotive or marine application. And the V-CAN will be either your BMS or your MPPTs, and V-Direct will also be through your shunt of your BMV. How to connect the GX device to internet via LAN, Ethernet cable, Wi-Fi, via mobile network. If you don't have access to Ethernet, you can use hotspot, and it will have access to that as well. All right, system setup, define name. I did go through this, but I'll quickly go through it again. Define system name, AC input 1 or 2, source, is it generator, is it grid? Monitoring for grid failure. This features when enabled, send an email when triggered. Battery monitoring selection as DC system features is enabled if your system has DC charging or discharging source connected to the battery bank, like an alternator or DC generator. Generator start-stop, you can set up the start-stop functionality for generator using the relay on the GX device. Potential free contact. Conditions such as SoC can be defined that suits the user. Fantastic features are minimum runtime and quiet hours. The reason why we say minimum runtime and quiet hours, if you've got a lot of sun days for 2 or 3 months and the generator doesn't circulate, your generator will start up, won't start up due to either oil or fuel or whatever the case may be. So it's ideal for your generator to at least run 5 minutes every week just to get that circulation going. Then relay, select a relay function, and possible functions are alarm relay, generator start, stop, and tank. So that's the additional relays that you can select. And on this, if you have a generator start, stop on the relay, you need to indicate alarm relay, generator start, stop, and then go to the generator function and select it when to run and when not to run. All right. Any questions so far? Sorry, I don't know why yeah, I think that's the end of the slide.
Looks like they were as well received. No questions.
No questions. Sorry, I
Maybe
ran.
they.
I thought it was an hour and a half, but I see it's only an hour. So I ramped
Yeah.
up. I streamlined the PowerPoint presentation.
No, I think it was in good time. It was in good time. It wasn't too
Good
fast.
time.
Yeah.
All right. No, good. Thanks, guys. I'll send it to Zane, the PDF. Then you'll have all the detail. But yeah, I think it's to your potential. If you go to the videos, there's quite good videos and blogs to go look at. I end up, if you lay in bed and have nothing to do, instead of Instagramming or Facebooking, go through the videos and see how they connected and what's the advantage. You stumble upon on quite ideal setups and programming features that you never knew of. Guni, yes, you can reach out to Alton for technical questions. You'll send it to me. The V bus system 276 low battery alarm. There can be multiple reasons depending on what battery you use, and is your MPPT updated to the latest firmware. There can be multiple scenarios, but send it to Alton. Alton will reach out to me, then I'll assist him accordingly, and he'll be in contact with you. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Alden.
Okay. No, thanks, Armand. Thanks for the training. And
we'll have another training session, but I think we let's on another training session. Let's go more in depth in the programming. Let's go more in depth in the designing of the system and scenarios, AC coupled, AC and DC coupled, and then the programming features of that. Then I can go through the Victron Connect and through the V configurating application of things.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. If there's no questions, I think we can then yeah, let's just find out. No questions at all, nothing. Okay, no questions. Yeah,
Right.
Thank you everyone for joining our Victron training, and Armand, thank you for all the good training. And Conferee, I'll just, if you can just drop your email or your number, and then I'll just give you a call, and then we can just have a chat in regards to that low battery alarm. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and see you on the next Victron training.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right.
Bye. Andre, you see in regards to